Just days after the opposition laid out allegations against the government in their own press conference on Monday, today the Premier, the Honorable Dr. Rufus Ewing, answering back on several of those issues. Now on Monday, elected member for Grand Turk and Salt Key, the Honorable Edwin Astwood, slamming the government on crime.
We are seeing a shift in crime, and this government is doing nothing to address it.
The number of crime have decreased by 1%. The detection rate has increased by 1%. But overall, there has been an increase in the number of serious crimes. Let it be known that this government has made every effort to supply the police force with all of the resources that were needed or that were asked for to combat crime in the Turks and Caicos Islands.
And those resources, the Premier says, will include police vests, more police vehicles, police boats, proper accommodations for police, including office space, and more police officers on Grand Turk.
We have also expressed our concern to the Commissioner of Police about the level of or number of police officers on the island of Grand Turk, and also more leadership on the island of Grand Turk. He reassured me that with the recruitment of our new Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Callahan, that we will see a restructuring of the police force to provide for more leadership at the level of the police force, at the senior level in the island of Grand Turk.
And on Monday, the opposition appointed member, the Honorable Clarence Salver, that time on the Premier's alleged lack of transparency in his relationship with InterHealth Canada.
When the review of the 5 years of the hospital contract became due, he conveniently took it over from Minister Portia Stubbs. And now he assumes that himself. And if you were to look, I saw the Free Press, the Sun, posted all of the declaration of interest. And if you look at that, you would see where the Premier declares that he has an interest with InterHealth Canada.
Well, first of all, I am not connected to the IHC. I have no declaration connecting me to IHC. As said before, my wife is an employee of InterHealth Canada as a physician. She does not have any administrative role or function as a physician, and so I'm in no way, shape, or form connected to IHC. During my tenure as Chief Medical Officer, as a technical person, I was part of the team that was involved in developing the clinical aspects of the development of clinical services at the hospital. The policy decisions were made by the policy directives of the day, so there's no need for me to say that I cannot be partial.
Salver again on Monday saying that the Premier was hiding hospital audit reports.
So every dollar government raised, 20 cents out of that dollar got to go towards maintaining the hospital. But the sad part about it, when I keep asking for the financial audit, he keeps coming up with excuse. His legal team advised him that it is not expedient to provide the House of Assembly with that financial audit report that was done.
No, you can't see the financials simply because most of the financials that are available are incomplete. And so until we have the complete financials, it will be inappropriate to put financials in public because they can be misconstrued. InterHealth Canada, since coming into office, as most persons will know, that the InterHealth Canada was open under interim administration. There are several issues with the contract that most persons did not understand because a new government who had no dealings with the contract took over and opened the hospitals. And so during that time when there was economic downturn, lots of things were overlooked. The correct structures were not put in place, and hence there are lots of gaps that were left open with regards to the management, with regards to the compliance with the contract, and all that we have been doing since coming into office through the various audits, both the clinical audit and the financial audit, is to discover where those gaps lie, to discover where things might have gone wrong or right, and to try to improve upon them.
Then MP for Blue Hills Galway Ewing on Monday spoke about the issue of communities, including his constituency of Blue Hills, being neglected in infrastructure.
There was one particular project in the budget for Blue Hills that they call the Master Plan Project, where it doesn't come into effect until 2017. But this year they would like to spend $100,000 on this project. And I said that this $100,000 that they want to spend will be spent on a study. If there are monies for real in this budget to be spent, it should be spent on needs that is pressing, needs that are important right now to the people, such as the Temple Avenue Road. I say that because for the last 4 years, I was complaining about this road and nothing has been done. Anybody who knows this road will understand why it's necessary to fix this road. It leads to two of our public schools, one, the Ozita Jolly Primary School and the Clement Howell High School. And parents are finding it very difficult using these roads to drop their kids off to school.
A lot of people nowadays think that when we ask for a road needs to be done, you just run and put a bulldozer on the road, push it, and then put blacktop on it. No. Roads need to be designed properly for drainage, need to be designed properly to take utilities, need to be designed properly so the substrata would not erode. So all of these design work are important, engineering and design work. And it doesn't happen just like that. And I've heard even the Honorable Galway Ewing leveling comments about the roads in North Caucasus of less priority than the roads in Blue Hills, which is ludicrous. All roads are important, but there are certain roads that get done before others simply because some roads have complications. And we know that the road of Scholars Way, that by the high school, had a complication where there was a lot of encroachment on persons' private property. And there was a lot of legal wrangling and issues to remove that parcel of land from the person's private property so that we can have the road redesigned properly. And so we will not put one road on hold and lose the funding because we're trying to deal with the legal issues on another road.
The date on which the Constitution stipulates that an election must be called is less than 3 months away, and both parties are on campaign alert. 4 News will keep you posted on these developments. Reporting on behalf of 4 News, I'm Joy Del Trail.